The key is, chat, Overwatch was better. That's the key. Overwatch isn't better, but it was better in its peak. Overwatch is completely garbage now, like straight up trash. This game's still fun. I mean, it's not going to have the longevity that Overwatch did because it's not a competitive game, right? It's a casual game. Played Overwatch recently. I haven't played Overwatch really since Overwatch 2, but there is no universe in which Overwatch is even remotely comparable in terms of game quality to this game. 5v5 basically, I mean, I say it killed the game. The game was dead long before this game came out. Long before Overwatch 2 came out, but like, Overwatch has a higher player base right now. I don't think that's true, by the way. What I think is Overwatch's main downfall: bad balance, bad hero design. I mean, there's so many things that were the big problem, but mostly it was Briggs' release. I think like Mercy rework, Briggs release were the big ones, and then basically inability to balance the game, and then taking 2 years of no content in order to release Overwatch 2, and then Overwatch 2 was a complete failure. It had no soul, and then they released Junker Queen, which was a cancer character, released Ramatra, which was a cancer character. They released Mauga, which is just this brain dead stat check shit. Like tanks are completely brain dead in Overwatch 2. For the most part, Overwatch, like the tanks in Overwatch 2 are just stat stick characters, with no intricacies to their kits whatsoever. It's just boring. The game's just boring. If the game was 6v6, if the game never went to 5v5 and stayed 6v6, maybe we'd have another discussion. But like, there's just no universe in which the Overwatch in its current state could compete with Marvel Rivals. Like maybe from like an esports side, it's better, but from every other aspect, this game's like light years ahead of it. Interesting concept. Junker Queen was a really well designed character that wasn't designed to be a tank. If they just buffed Junker Queen's numbers and made her a DPS, she'd be a really, really cool character. But it made no sense for her to be a tank because she has nothing. Performance-wise, yeah, I mean, that's true. Performance-wise, Overwatch is better. But I mean, this game has the main problems with this game is it has dogshit performance and it has dogshit servers. I mean, this game is fundamentally problematic as well, don't get me wrong, but it's still better. I'd still much rather play Overwatch than this game. Overwatch, Gap, Marvel Rivals, and some... I say, yeah, I'm sorry, I would rather play Rivals than Overwatch. Anyone who thinks that Overwatch is even relevant compared to Rivals is just straight up coping. Like, it's just straight up copium. Which game does have the most far-right stance on the existence of Taiwan? Don't know, mate. Overwatch isn't as relevant, but it's the better game. And
Wait, do you want to play Clove?
I don't agree with that, though. So, I installed Overwatch today, first time since Marvel Rivals launch, made it through 2 games uninstalled, based. Like, I think the only thing that Overwatch does better is I think the game probably has more competitive integrity, because I think the game's much harder, and competitively it's much better. But in terms of enjoyment, there's just no, it's in my opinion, is genuinely not even close. They have Widow. I'm gonna cry. Paul, balance the game in a way which you can individually win the game rather than subs pressing heals. Well, no, because I mean that's never this genre of game, right? I don't think the game should be based around solo carrying, because the only way to have solo carry characters really is to make them really OP. If you gotta play Overwatch on its current state, have an opinion on it, maybe. But I mean, I don't see how Overwatch can be anything remotely close to good when half of the heroes that existed when I played still exist.
No.
Right? And it's still 5v5. 5v5 is inherently dog shit in a genre like this, in my opinion. And you know, Mauga still exists, Junker Queen still exists, Brig still exists, Bap still exists, Widow still exists. I mean, I could go on. Ramatra still exists. I think Hazard's pretty much the same. Yeah, Kiriko. Like, so many of these characters' designs are fundamentally toxic to the game. It's ridiculous. Mauga, Bap, Brig, and Widow are dog shit. That doesn't mean anything. Just because they're shit doesn't matter. They still exist in the game. Is the problem. What's wrong with Ram? Ram's problem is he's a stat check character. Ram's problem is the same as I would say almost every single one of the tanks that they've added is that they're stat sticks. Saying Rivals doesn't have dog shit hero design, I don't think Rivals hero design is bad. I think most of Rivals' heroes design is pretty good. Most characters in this game have well designed kits. They just tend to teeter on the side of easy characters, right? They're banned with every game. Well, sure, but like, I don't understand what's your point here. Like, yes, I can ban Widow, but like banning Widow doesn't solve the issue because I also don't ban like the 50,000 other turbo cancer problematic characters. And also because the ban system is implemented so late, it also creates a big problem as well because people are so used to one-tricking and now they can't. It becomes a real problem. Don't understand Magic. Why choose her over the dive characters? Because she has probably the best backline assassination potential of the dive characters. I mean, I just can't. I mean, this is just literally not playable. Like, it's literally just not, like, literally we have no space. The Widow is just completely free shooting. We can't do anything about her. Playing most superheroes in the game, you gotta carry. I wish, bro. One day my role will become fucking good. To be fair, melee DPS is probably in the best spot it's ever been in, so I can't really complain too much. It's probably still the weakest role in the game, but it's like better than it's been in ages. Is there any way Maga not to be cancer? No. Like, this is what I mean, right? What I said, the only way Overwatch can ever get back to being, like, in my opinion, a relevant game is if they delete/rework like 30 to 40% of the cast. There's too many characters in that game that just don't work. Who would you rework? I mean, I'd rework Maug, I'd rework Brig, I'd rework Baptiste, Kiriko. I don't know anything about the new heroes past Maug because I haven't played since then, but I would rework Ramatra, Mauga, Junker Queen, probably Hog. I definitely rework Hog. Basically, the problem you have is that there's tons of tanks in the game that are like drain tank characters that end up being just stat sticks, right? It's like, okay, either they are like ridiculously OP because their stats are too high. I'm about to inflate. The fact that I almost die here is concerning. Junker Queen is well designed. Junker Queen is well designed if she was a DPS. But because she's a tank, she's badly designed. Because I think the concept of drain tanks in games are almost always super problematic. Oh, light chat, I'm actually just cooking their backline like so hard. Like, holy fuck, bro. Dude! Holy fuck, I was about to break my monitor if I died right there. Rubber banded death and agony? Yeah, it's so fucking tilting their rubber banding in this game. Rivals are so clunky. I mean, the problem with Rivals is that the performance is absolutely ass cheeks, right? The performance in this game is really bad, is the biggest problem. And the servers are terrible. Those are the number one and two major issues with the game. And to be honest, chat, I put in the performance of a lifetime on this round, and we didn't even cap first. That game was so turbo losers queue. Why devs give Iron Man shield? Because they don't know how to balance. They don't know how to buff weak characters. This game definitely is a game of they balance much more so of perceived balance, perceived strength than actual strength. Very hardcore. There's so many characters that like the fact Bucky's getting buffs next patch is insanity to me. I think giving Panther a third spear would be too OP. Yeah, I think if you got a third spear, it'd be way too strong. Barca or Madrid? I mean, Barca are gotta be favourites, right? I don't know about injuries, if there's any injuries, but Barca are in better form from what I gather. I don't really watch La Liga or anything, so. But you see, I think the difference I had with my thoughts on the games was that I thought when I was playing Overwatch, I was hopeful that the dev team would balance the game around high level play, right? I was hopeful that the game would be designed and balanced around competitive players. This game, I've never once, under any situation...
we ban Hulk second, guys, so they don't ban any dive hero.
I've never been under any assumption in this game that this game will be balanced around casual players. It was so clear to me that this game would be balanced around casual players. It's crazy. So that's why I don't like I think the balance of this game is okay. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. But I look at it through the lens of like, okay, support players complain about Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man, in my opinion, is a pretty dogshit character. I can understand them nerfing Spider-Man because they're frustrated. The majority of the support player base are frustrated with Spider-Man. Therefore, they're going to nerf the hero, and I think that's fine because it's not a game about like what's actually strong. And every single company does this. Every single company does this. There's a you don't just balance based off the strengths of characters. You balance also off the perceived strength of characters, because that perceived strength of characters often matters more than strength of characters. So yeah, type of shit that at least Adam Brig. You see, yes and no. I think Overwatch were frustrated. Well, I mean to be fair, yes, I think is the answer, and I think that they have added Brig to this game. I think they added the Thing, they added Emma, both of which, in my opinion, are like ridiculously obnoxious anti-dive characters. Now, I just don't think they created a character who's quite as strong as Brig, or as problematic as Brig. But these characters are basically Brig, right? Thing's entire design is based around dive and melee characters not being able to play the game. Brig is literal proof that Overwatch didn't try and balance around pro. That's what I mean, but like Overwatch, because of the Overwatch League, I was under the false hope that the game would be balanced around pro play, right, and about like around high level players, and would be made into a made into a competitive game. And unfortunately, the more the balance went on, the more that just wasn't the case.
There's no block on your backline.
It became to me clearer and clearer that the devs either didn't know what they were doing or were intentionally balancing the game around casuals, right?
Look on!
Have your backline, have your backline. I would first, is needed.
Holy fuck.
We have rest for him, it's fine.
Can't balance game around casuals? Well, this is the obvious dilemma, right? No, he still has.
Help me. There's a
you can't balance the game only around competitive and try-hard players. You can't. And I think this is the hardest part about being a game dev balance-wise, is trying to please the casual audience and the competitive audience. It's also why I don't think you do it. My argument against balancing around the casuals is that I think the casuals care less about the balance than non-casuals, because I don't think they understand what's good or bad.
Cap behind me, guys. Cap behind me.
Like I genuinely think the devs, like for instance, casuals could complain about Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man could get nerfed without the dev saying anything, and they would still complain about Spider-Man.
They have a growth health care.
They actually don't know what's good or bad.
2, 1.
I got low key.
We got rest.
How are you supposed to balance for both sides? I mean, balancing for both sides is really hard. I think that the key, in my opinion, the key is that you have to look at your cast and you have to think which characters are you think are good for competitive integrity, and I would try and make those characters strong, right? Characters like Tracer, Soldier 76, Genji, Reaper, Ana, Lucio, Reinhardt, Winston, Zarya, Diva. These characters, design-wise, are fun, interesting, and competitive, and high skill. And that's, in my opinion, your balance should be based around trying to keep those heroes strong as much as possible. Most of the release characters, yeah, pretty much. They have Jeff now. They have Thing, you said? Oh. Yeah. Competitive integrity doesn't bring the big... Yeah, but my argument here... is that if you balance the game around the strengths of those characters, in my opinion, it doesn't significantly...
Like, Wolverine here would go hard.
No. They have Thing. We can't play Wolverine.
Why did you leave him?
How do you think this game... How do you think this game good right now? How good do I think this game is right now? I think this game's really fun.
Together, okay?
The game is really enjoyable. At least in small doses. Games in the same way as OW support is strong, bad players don't know how to play them, devs gonna overbuff them, like why? I mean, to be honest, chat, supports as a role were never really that strong in Overwatch, I thought. I thought that the big problem Overwatch had, at least
Loki, can you say
Overwatch 1,
something?
was that tanks were way too strong.
Hello?
Thank you.
Tanks had 90% of the impact in Overwatch 1, I thought, compared to supports. There was metas where supports were really impactful, but I thought in general it was tanks were the problem in Overwatch 1, whereas I think this game it's like supports are the problem. I thought tanks were the easiest role to play in Overwatch 1, and they had by far also the most boring and by far the most. I mean, I think in Overwatch 2 it flipped to supports being broken, but like Overwatch 1, like almost every single meta was determined by tank play. Guys, can't get away. Why are you guys agreeing in my chat instead of flaming each other? Iron Fist is the anti-cap. I mean, Iron Fist is good into cap, but it's not really like amazing into cap. There's buffing supports and triple tank being meta. Are we approaching goats? I think the reason why goats is going to struggle to be meta is because I feel like there's a few characters that just stop goats existing. Like Iron Fist, in my opinion, and Wolverine are both characters that kind of shit on goats. I think Punisher with Team Up also really shits on goats. Yeah, Iron Fist made the season? No, I still made Magic. I still think Magic's just as good as Iron Fist. I just think that they're better in different comps. What makes him... Okay, I come back and the first thing I read in my chat is what makes a minifigure goonable. And then I see Lego cleavage. I hate it. Oh, guys, Groot is open. Why aren't we playing Groot, guys? We have to play Groot. Groot's open. Chaz is probably the best in the world right now, and he's playing BP.
I'm so sad.
Chaz is the best in the world. Can't claim be number one Magic when you're constantly flexing. True number one. I've seen his Magic. His Magic's not as good as mine. His BP is better than mine, but his Magic's not as good. Guy's a fucking fraud and a fake. You're not an intellectual! And he also is ugly, and he smells. Fraudulent queuing system? Holy, that's based. Best magics are Sorkin and 2Mute. Who and who?
Actually, the best magic player is this guy no one's ever heard of before, who's insane in his platinum games.
Nah, no way, this guy's such a pedo. Sorkin is better than Chasm. Sork on these nuts. Chat, you guys have to remember, when I play this game, I play at 1/5000th of my actual potential.
Fuck.
How much of the time do I sit talking about fucking politics and sports and sex? How'd you nerf Bucky? I think you just need to nerf his numbers. I think you need to nerf the shielding he gets. I think you need to nerf his LMB damage. I think you keep him. Like, I would actually rather they nerf his, they lower his LMB damage, they lower his shield, and then they decrease his hook cooldown again. I'm fine with the character having a really strong kit and being overkitted as long as his numbers aren't tuned too high. Bucky's 140 damage headshot, yeah, like if it was like 120 instead or something like that, it would be fine. Like I think the idea of his hook being really, really strong is like fine, and like having a low cooldown, no problem. Promise you just like, him being overkitted is fine as long as his numbers are tuned low, which they should be. But they're not right now is the problem, right? His numbers are tuned really high. I think they're kind of support buffs. I don't know. I see why they do it. I think obviously like the support experience in the current meta is pretty obnoxious. So I can see why they're buffing supports. I don't know. It depends how severe they are. I mean, obviously I think from a balance perspective, like supports don't need buffs, right? Supports are very, still incredibly strong, but I can see why they're doing it because in this patch the role's pretty cancer to play.
My team is AFK. My team is so scared. My team is AFK. My team is so scared. My team is AFK. My team is so scared. My team is AFK. It's just bullshit. Hey, friends. We're both friends. Yeah. Hey, friends.